Today I'm going to review and compare Bulbrite's dimmable LED bulbs to incandescent bulbs. Bulbrite's dimmable LED bulbs have an E12 candelabra base, a filament appearance, and are made in the CA10 flame tip style. Each bulb provides 160 lumens, and they're an energy efficient option to traditional 25 watt incandescent bulbs like this one here. Now, if you saw my other video review of the Pro HT dimmable LED candlelight bulbs, which you'll see a link to now in the upper right corner, you already know that the aesthetic quality of a light bulb is important in our case. We painstakingly chose lighting fixtures that match the period and style of our home. Aside from Bulbrite's decent profile, what I like about these LEDs is they only use 2.5 watts each to provide light versus this 25 watt incandescent bulb. The LEDs also have a color temperature of 2200 Kelvin. That's a warm yellowy orange, like the filament of an antique style incandescent bulb. Now this incandescent bulb is closer to 2700 Kelvin until dimmed, which is pretty common for incandescent and halogen bulbs. 2700 is less orangey, a little more white yellow. So keep that in mind when we look at the bulbs side by side. If you do prefer 2700 Kelvin, Bulbrite does make a version of this bulb that's 2700 Kelvin. I just happen to like the 2200 Kelvin bulbs for our floor lamps and chandeliers because the long filament almost gives the appearance of a flame, although they don't flicker like fire. Bulbrite's LEDs come with a 5-year warranty and should last up to 15,000 hours. That's roughly 7.5 times longer than its 25 watt incandescent equivalent per the manufacturer. These bulbs also happen to be dimmable, but you'll need to make sure you have a dimmer that specifies that it works with LEDs. Now, having said that, according to the manufacturer's website, these bulbs can be dimmed with some models of dimmers not rated for LEDs. For example, some incandescent and halogen only dimmers by Lutron, Leviton, and Legrand. Some dimmers work better than others and could impact the life of the bulb, so be sure to check Bulbrite's website for specific models and how well those dimmers pair up with the LED bulbs. Let's compare how light is cast and the color temperature as I dim the fixture. Gentlemen, start your dimmers! Alright. Now, the camera's auto light adjustment will play tricks on us, so I'll do a side-by-side comparison. This is high, this is medium, and this is the lowest setting of the dimmer. You'll notice on the highest setting of the dimmer, the LEDs cast light similarly, not the same, but similarly to the incandescent bulbs. The LEDs are actually a little bit brighter. A major difference between the LEDs and the incandescent bulbs is the LEDs don't give off much heat because an LED, which stands for light emitting diode, converts more energy into light and less energy radiates from the bulb as heat. The incandescent bulb gets hot. And speaking of temperature, Bulbrite's LEDs are usable in temperatures ranging from -4 degrees Fahrenheit, that's -20 degrees Celsius, up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 40 degrees Celsius. So perhaps not suitable for outdoors if you live in an extreme climate, but either way, they're suitable for damp locations and can be used in closed fixtures. As I've mentioned, these LEDs have a decent profile. The components that make it work are rather inconspicuous, but you can still see a little of the base, and depending on the socket, sometimes you see more, sometimes you see less. The base definitely is not unsightly though, like the Pro HT LED's egg. And unlike the Pro HT LEDs, these bulbs fit into all of the sockets I've tried so far. So here's where I think the trade-off is. Based on my research of how LEDs dispense the small amount of heat that is generated, what you gain with Bulbrite's aesthetically pleasing low-profile circuitry, you lose in bulb life. As I mentioned before, the Bulbrite LED bulbs are expected to last up to 15,000 hours, where the Pro HT bulbs are expected to last 30,000 hours. Still worth the trade-off in my opinion for a nicer looking bulb. The only thing that's a little disappointing is the amount of print that's on the bulb. You don't notice it when the lights are on, but it does take away slightly from the aesthetic. To wrap up, Bulbrite's LED filament bulbs are great to conserve electricity and save a lot of money in the long run. They also don't have to be hidden in inconspicuous fixtures because the bulbs are elegant enough to be used here, 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 and here. If this video has been helpful, please do me a favor, like and subscribe, and as always, thank you so much for watching.